What are the milestones that you feel the Indian education system has achieved in the last 68 years?
I think the amount of primary education which India has been able to we get right down to the hinterland of India, and they provide access to a lot of people for primary level education has been incredible. So I think if you take the example of countries around India who has kind of similar state of the economy as well, India's ability to penetrate their primary level education has been phenomenal.
So basically we've got the mass numbers down, now quality is the challenge.
Numbers as well, but primary education.
Primary education.
Yeah,
okay.
so there's a lot of countries around us who can't even provide primary education, or there are villages, for example, where there's no school around them to even send them for first and second year of school.
Okay.
Whereas India has done a great job in actually making sure that at least the first 6 years of primary education is available to most people in most villages and almost everywhere. Yeah.
What are the top 3 challenges that the Indian education system faces immediately?
So I'll say one is the most basic one is the quality of teaching. So we have to make teaching a profession which is aspired to, where people are enthusiastic about teaching and also realizing that they are in a way building the generation for the future when they're teaching students as well. So I think the way we look after our teachers, the way we train them, the kind of knowledge they impart as well has to be looked upon dramatically, in terms of there has to be a disruption in that whole process of how we get teachers to actually deliver high quality content as well, which I think should be the first issue we need to address. The second issue should be probably I would say looking at quality. The quality of our programs, have they been updated? Are they relevant to the market even now? The whole conversation right now was about the quality of education, whether employable or not, and all those kind of things. The third part, I guess, would be is really about employability. So we talked about the quality of education, whether these schools, colleges are actually engaged with corporates or the business side of things, to make sure their degree is actually employable and people can actually get a job at the end of it, and they have the skill sets to find a job at the end of the program.
What gap do you tie-ups and bringing in foreign universities and educational organizations fill in the education system?
So it's like any collaboration, whether you look at cars or even any kind of products which come into India from overseas, they bring in a different quality, they bring in different angle to all of that as well. They bring in the competition, which obviously when there's competition, the quality of everything improves. So I think foreign education needs to be looked at that way as well, is that what they're bringing in, which is not already provided for in India, whether it's the skill sets required for the future. I think foreign universities are very good at providing those skill sets, and also touching upon the soft skills. So besides the content and the information which comes through a normal degree, even the soft skill required to actually, how do you present yourself, how do you actually interact with people, how do you build partnerships, and those really practical skills is what foreign universities will be able to bring in.
Yeah, but have employers come to you saying, students coming out from Indian education systems are not employable, or they lack certain things, and those gaps can be filled by foreign universities?
See, we haven't had directly corporates come and say that, tell me that, we are the solution to the problem of what Indian system can't fill, because in a way, it's up to the Indian education system to, find out what they need and then come seeking for it. So the private universities in India are very good at it. They know exactly what capabilities we have and what they lack, and they're very good at touching upon those things with us directly. The state-owned or the government-owned universities, obviously because a lot of restrictions, internal restrictions, regulation, there's very limited things they can do outside the scope of activities they have, which is essentially deliver an undergraduate degree and give a degree from the parent body or the parent university. So their scope of activity is very limited, and when they try to do things outside that scope, they generally find a lot of roadblocks which they have to face. So the incentive, it's once again regulation, or we don't have regulation around that. So for example, if Tata wants to come and set up an incubation center inside a college, does the college have the mandate to do it? Do they have the regulation around it? Where will they do it? Can they do it? Who owns the land? All those kind of things come into play. Whereas private universities be like, yeah, Tata, yeah, here's a space, let's do it now.
Okay, so what kind of focus do public and private sector institutions have for the long term to bring up more employable students?
All of this goes back to teachers. Whether are you paying people correctly or the right amount for teaching or delivering your programs? Because once you raise the salaries, raise the prestige of being a teacher, you're attracting a whole new class of people. So currently I feel a lot of the people who are there in teaching are there because there's nothing else to do, or they basically think that's the only occupation besides a few others, which women can do, for example. So, and I think that mentality needs to be changed. People should be in teaching because they're passionate about it and they want to actually make a difference. So I think it all comes back to that. If we change the whole model around teacher training and teachers, you'll see organic growth happening from there. Because when we went to school as well, we all remember our good teachers, and we made fun of the bad ones. So it's and you develop a passion about a subject because your teacher is very good at teaching that course. So you tend to be more interested in it because it was delivered in the right way to you. So I think teachers are the main, I would say, solution, probably for public and private. And the privates do it quite well, at least in the school sector. I know they pay much better than the public system. They go out and attract and poach a lot of the public sector school teachers who are really good. So that's happening already, and they appreciate that fact that the teachers will drive everything from there. So I think it's really about attracting good quality teachers in the end. Yeah.